so too Dr. Ben Carson, who many argue could throw his presidential hat into the ring. Now is not the time for that, but I do find it interesting. But Doctor, you've heard this concern among border state governors, border state sheriffs, who all say the same thing. Forget about whether the president can legally do this, whether he has the discretion to do this. He is going to make a bigger mess of this, and it's going to embolden illegals to keep flooding the border. What do you say?
Well, of course it will, and we have to recognize that, you know, when these people are here and they can be here legally and we're not worried about deporting them, of course they're going to get access to our medical system, of course to the educational system.
Well, he stresses no, Doctor. He says that that's not the case, but you argue that they can actually pay outright for Obamacare. The question is whether they can get any subsidies under Obamacare, right?
Well, you know, he said a lot of things that don't seem to have a lot of veracity to them. But the fact of the matter is, we know that if they're here, they're going to be taken care of. We're not going to say, oh, we're not taking care of you. Forget about it.
Well, how is that different than someone popping up in the emergency room and getting service, because all good doctors like yourself are going to provide it?
Right. Well, it's not any different. And here's the thing that I think a lot of people are not thinking about. We already have a national debt that is approaching $18 trillion. Throwing millions more people into the mix is not going to help us. Also, think about the fact that there are so many of our own people who are having a very difficult time finding jobs, making ends meet. This is not going to aid those people. This is actually going to make it more difficult for them. Is there ever going to come a time when maybe we think about our own people first? It's like when you get on the airplane and they say, if there's an emergency, put your oxygen mask on first and then help the person next to you. It's not that we're not compassionate people, but we have a lot of our own people who are really hurting in the inner cities, in Appalachia, in the rural areas. If we could maybe have some kind of a presidential interest in those people, I think would make a very, very big difference. And, you know, lawless illegal immigration should not be rewarded by lawless executive action.
But the president responds to that, Doctor, by saying, well, these folks are going to start paying taxes. They'll start paying their freight. You say what?
I don't think that they're going to be paying a lot of taxes, and I believe the benefits are probably going to outweigh the taxes very significantly. If there are taxes that are paid at all. I mean, basically, it is just a gigantic amnesty program. Call it what it is. He loves to redefine things. And, you know, we've already seen that they don't think that the American people are very smart, so that they can say anything, and people will just lap it up and say, yeah, that's what the president said. I think people are smarter than that, quite frankly. But the real question is, will the Republicans have the backbone to stand up to this and really do something about it?
And how they stand up to it to that point. Dr. Ben Carson, thank you. Very good to see you.